Hey guys, have you ever heard of La Productions La Fête?
We hope so, because we're diving in ankle deep.
What's with the background?
It's Feet. The movie's from the Feet Productions, right?
No, La Fête means the party.
The party? Not the feet?
Not the feet.
Awkward.
Before we begin today's review, I just gotta say, this movie was a bitch to get my hands on. As soon as Raven and I saw the trailer, we knew we had to review this one. I mean, what the hell are we even looking at here? A little boy befriends some kind of fairy thing, who then turns his bedroom into a stop-motion nightmare? This is gold! So where do we get it? Apparently it's only available on Apple TV. Oh, but that's not all. It's only available on Apple TV from Canada. But we're not done yet. It's only available on Apple TV from Canada, and you have to rent or buy it. Yeah, it's not even available for free like so many other shows and movies are. So I signed up to Apple TV, changed my geolocation to Toronto, and after all that, they wouldn't accept my payment from my American PayPal account. Apple really wants to make sure that nobody outside of Canada can see this movie. But as it happens, The Flying Sneaker was actually available on YouTube the entire time, under the name of Danger Pleine Lune, which translates to Full Moon Danger. But unlike the trailer for The Flying Sneaker, Danger Pleine Lune was entirely in French, translated from its original Czech. Maybe it's because this copy of the movie is such a degraded VHS rip, maybe YouTube's closed captioning just sucks when transcribing a foreign language that was already translated from another foreign language, who knows. But when I took its original subtitles and translated them to English, it came out looking like this.
Celui-là. Bon alors allons-y, on fera la ruelle. D'accord, comme tu veux. Et tu sais quoi? Je pense que je vais être magicien quand je serai grand. Je croyais que tu voulais devenir un homme grenouille. Les lapins, c'est plus drôle que les poissons. J'ai quand même le droit de changer d'avis.
Let's look at that again. That one's good then, we'll do it far away. Ali, okay, whatever you want. And you know what? Every month until I go to a restaurant, I believed they could all become men. Frog in the Summer part was funnier then. I still have the right to fish. It's like the flub titles stopped trying to read the movie to us and instead just started spouting off its weird avant-garde poetry. So I then had to find a program that could listen to the movie's dialogue, transcribe some proper subtitles in French, and then translate those into English. And now we can finally understand the movie. Or at least we can understand the dialogue a little bit easier. Understanding the movie itself might be a bit of a stretch. Anyway, we open on the long-lost Czech twin of Woim from The Little Rascals, staring out his classroom window and imagining credits. I don't know what's worse, the wrinkles of this sky backdrop, or the fact that this shot representing sheer boredom even exists. The movie just started, and it's daydreaming? The Flying Sneaker, folks! Drink in that whimsy!
Or more literally, Full Moon Danger. Beware the danger of the full moon in the middle of the day. What?
Alex here dreams of one day becoming a magician, and he spends his day putting things in his girlfriend's mouth without her knowledge or consent, and getting picked on by, and standing up to, his bully, Vincent. It's nice to see him not taking this crap, but it's kind of early in the movie, isn't it? Are you sure you don't want to wait until the end, after you've done some growing as a character? Oh dear. If I have any French or Czech viewers in my audience, help me out here. Is that just some idiom that my American ears aren't catching on to? Or was that just a bad translation that slipped through the cracks? Yeah, spoiler alert, my big opening bit about getting proper subtitles, they're only mostly proper. They're still a huge improvement over what YouTube originally gave us, but some goofy moments like this are still gonna come through. Really, at least try to be a smart polluter. After coming home to Poop Deck Pappy, he gets some exposition about how Alex's father is away at sea. Little kid of French/Eastern European descent, missing parent. I'm suddenly getting I Believe in Santa Claus flashbacks. It's gonna turn out that Dad was abducted by an African militia group, and only Santa Claus can get him back.
Un perroquet, ce serait bien, s'il comprend ma langue.
Him and us both, kid. Him and us both.
Occasional bad subtitles aside, I gotta say, I'm appreciating how normal everything is starting out. We have this normal kid who lives in a normal world, and he has this normal problem of his normal father being absent. This movie wants to take its time before throwing the weird at us, and how often does that happen to me? Usually it's within the first 2 minutes where the movie's bombarding me with the weird, but this one doesn't mind using a little foreplay. Thank you, movie. It's very nice.
A movie's gotta woo the critics. They don't mind a little romance.
The I Believe in Santa Claus parallels continue as this African gentleman shows up to tell Alex his dad's been kidnapped.
Hey!
Hey, what? He says he's from Africa. Look!
Je m'appelle Ali. Ali disait qu'il a rencontré ton père quand il a accosté en Afrique.
Mais alors, vous êtes un Africain?
100%.
Alright. But I'm watching you, movie.
All too coincidental jokes aside, he is not here to tell Alex his dad was kidnapped, and instead delivers this box full of strange chrysalises on Dad's behalf. A moment ago, Alex's grandfather was telling him that getting mail from a ship at sea is kind of tricky, but then Dad just sends this guy to his home with a care package. Clearly Dad's not lost, he's just trying to avoid his family.
Le framacukilai, le bichalis, bitanta, le netulis.
What the hell is that?
Just a goose. Have a nice day.
You might think he's naming off different butterfly species, but no. Apparently this is just Latin-adjacent gibberish. The movie has this African character speaking complete nonsense. That's nice. Alex then proceeds to relocate the chrysalises from this fancy handmade chest into a pickle jar. Makes sense. Every time I get a new comic book in a fancy Mylar bag, I just toss it into a shoebox. The next day, Alex visits this professor friend of his to answer some questions he has about butterflies. Naturally, the professor puts on some time-lapse footage of flowers growing. What's the Czech word for pointless? Alex wakes up later that night after setting his alarm for 2 in the morning, because I guess this is the time of night when he's supposed to light the stove in his room. Then the butterflies finally emerge and, oh my god, what is that thing? It looks like a tiny Jenna Ortega cosplaying as a Hershey's Kiss. Holy crap, it has the power to move things with its tiny mind!
C'est vrai que tu es magique, alors.
I think she's gonna kill you. One for me.
So he chases her around for a bit, and I need to point out that integrating stop-motion animation with a live-action setting is really weird, even for folks like Henry Selick who have mastered the craft. But this movie, with its lower frame rate in the animation, wow, it does not work. It looks like 2 different movies fighting each other for the same screen. Then Mom comes in, who I guess was also up at 2 in the morning. Shouldn't she be wearing pajamas and sporting a bad case of bedhead?
Ils sont magnifiques.
No, say magnifique.
Speaking of Magnafake, Fun-sized Jenna Ortega here has the instinct to play possum and is functionally dead to the world, making herself look like just a doll. Sure is a good thing that she was brought to this place where dolls are a thing. If she was out in her native African wilderness, she would be now in someone else's digestion. Alex goes back to his professor friend the next day, who, of course, has a book with exactly the same ungodly monstrosity that's now haunting his bedroom.
How convenient.
And what is this little hellspawn called?
Et si ce que tu dis est vrai?
Thanks, Professor. Your boundless knowledge is really adding flavor to the world building. He suggests that the fairies live only on love, so he lets Alex take some of his flowers to her. Okay. You're not just having a purely academic discussion? You're not just talking about fairy lore because it's interesting? You think that this kid really has a fairy in his house? And giving flowers to a girl usually implies something very specific, and you want to give them to this fairy because she lives on love? Alex goes home, and now he's watching the weird woman thing who lives on love through a keyhole. I used my inappropriate joke too soon.
Simplement être ton ami. Je veux pas te faire de mal. Menteur. Tout ce que tu veux, c'est nous épingler comme nos cousins.
Yeah, sorry, kid, but you had this coming.
Alex says that he wasn't the one who did that. Then the butterfly fairy uses her magic to look deep within his soul to see if he's telling the truth. And by look deep within his soul, I mean she asks his furniture if he's on the level. Remember, kids, everything in your possession is watching everything you do. When did this movie turn into the Clean Club?
Rise up against this sloppy slob!
Sloppy slob!
I've killed men for less!
She comes to the conclusion that Alex is no threat to her and her friends, thanks to the testimony of his belongings.
That's a dumb sentence!
And then his little friend Lucy shows up to do her homework with him. But he shoos her away. So much for being nice.
Trumpy, you can do stupid things.
Since the butterfly fairy doesn't have a name, Alex decides to name her Urugu, a word which, as near as we can tell, means nothing in Czech or French. This is a name that Alex pulled completely out of his ass.
Et tant que je serai là, j'essaierai de te rendre heureux.
Hey, look! Urugu invented the YouTube sleep video. This movie's really weird, but at least it's considerate. Things then take a turn for the trippy as Urugu takes Alex into a magical dream world. Nope, just kidding, it's already morning. I guess they ran out of their whimsy budget and want us to imagine what might have happened. Alex walks off bright and early with his box of butterflies, and Lucy sneaks into his room to see what yesterday was all about. I knew it! He's doing someone else's homework on the side! We jump back over to Alex as he takes the butterflies to this botanical garden and he lets them go. Why? Because it's kinda, sorta like Africa, I guess. Yeah, remind me again why Dad not appearing in this film mailed a bunch of chrysalises to his son? Did he want to send his love by giving him a bunch of pets that were destined to die in a couple of weeks? Probably even faster in this strange new, colder environment? This saddens Urugu because she can't join them for some reason, and at no point does Alex try to console her or suggest that she live with them in the garden. How nice. Later that night, we find that she's afraid of the full moon? Is she gonna turn into a teeny tiny werewolf?
Lewoo!
Actually, she's afraid of the full moon because... it makes her fly into it? And she can't stop herself despite repeatedly running face first into Alex's window? Is this why bugs have such short lifespans? Because they're so dumb they eventually fly off into space? No, that's not Grogu, but we can fix that. The next day, she browbeats Alex into taking her to school with him. Why? Who knows? Once they get to school, Horuku, apparently, uses her powers to start raining chaos upon these doomed mortals.
Didn't she say earlier that she wanted to make him happy?
Make him happy, get him in trouble, it's basically the same thing. Don't worry, I know how to handle this. I do not believe in fairies! Nailed it.
Mais où est passé l'exercice? Qui a osé effacer le tableau? Enfin! Tant pis, on va voir si la directrice trouve ça drôle.
Apparently the director does think it's funny. That's why we're still rolling.
That's what you get for being clicky.
Later at home, Alex is grounded for 3 days for allegedly being the source of all this mayhem, which was pinned on him because he had a bag, I guess. To complicate matters, Mom takes Haruku Goku away to be given to Lucy. Over the course of Alex's grounding, we see that everyone has abandoned their winter clothes. This is sure a long 3 days. Lucy strolls by with Frogugo in a baby carriage, and you'd think that Alex would use this fishing pole to just dangle it over his little friend so that she could grab it and be hoisted away, but no. He uses it to pull the entire carriage away. I don't think you're allowed to protest, Lucy. Stealing something as bulky and heavy as this thing with nothing but a fishing pole takes a lot of skill. I'd say he's earned it. He has a mistress? Kid's got game. After getting his partner in crime back, Alex tosses the carriage down only for Lucy to somehow wind up inside it herself. And again, he's doing this with nothing but a fishing pole at his disposal. Forget Wonder Woman and her lasso of truth. We need Alex at his pole of fishing.
Pourquoi t'es pas rentrée ici toute seule? T'étais capable? Parce que je voulais voir si tu me sauverais.
Granted, Alex's skill with the fishing pole is uncanny, but you're the one with magical powers! Save yourself!
Tu es merveilleux, Migo.
Whoa, 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 hey! That is his word! You cannot say that! Now, before you all cancel me, what this flub title failed to pick up was that the word she actually said was nigo, which is French for silly or fool. She's just being a little cheeky in the wake of being complimentary, like one does. And now you all have a new harmless word to add to your vocabulary.
No, you don't. Stop it.
Alex decides to fake being sick the next day to get out of going to school, and Urgly Burgly decides to help. Oh dear. It's one thing to magically raise the thermometer from a healthy 37 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius and make it look like he has a believable fever, befeaverable, but he started out somewhere between 34 and 35? This kid is hypothermic! Get him to a hospital! His mom buys it and leaves him alone, and now the weird, crudely animated fun can begin. And if there was any doubt that fun was being had, check it out. Time is literally flying.
I hate you.
Yeah, I suppose it's unfair to use that cliche to suggest that fun is happening. Somehow, this kid became legitimately sick, and we're along for the ride to witness his fever dream. He sees Vincent and his entourage going on to fly a bunch of model planes, so he outsources Fugamagoo to finish this plane he started on some time ago, but just forgot about. Again, how nice.
Je trouve superbe.
No, it's a flub title that predicted the future. They all meet outside the village from The Adventures of Pinocchio, and while everyone else is flying their planes with reasonable proficiency, Alex has Uruguay flying his plane with her magical powers, and outdoes them all suspiciously well. One of the kids thinks there's some kind of special engine inside of it, and when called down on it, Alex takes off the plane's propeller, puts it on the toe of his sneaker, and has Ukukuchu fly it. And there we have it. Over an hour into the movie, we finally get the flying sneaker. And it makes absolutely no sense. If the kids accuse you of cheating, wouldn't it make more sense to just take the propeller off the plane and make it fly around under the pretense that it's doing so on its own power? As it is, it just looks like Alex stuck this tiny engine into the shoe, proving that he is, in fact, cheating. This isn't the flex that you think it is, kid. They all come to the only conclusion that can come from this, and they leave, unimpressed by Alex's obvious cheating. One, that's not what happened. Two, it was also not a good idea to name the movie after this thing! Then, as if the last scene just forgot it existed, we get more or less the same thing here with Alex trying to muscle in on Vincent's territory, only this time with Lucy involved. Get the hell out of there, motherfucker. Oh, subtitles, you are so much more fun than the movie itself.
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out.
Instead of trying to get the upper hand here, as well as win back his girlfriend, who wasn't actually his, Alex just goes home.
That was pointless.
I'm embarrassed to only notice this detail so late in the movie, but Alex's room is decorated with globes and maps, and it occurs to me what this movie should have been. Alex is bored with his mundane life, and he longs to see the world. He comes across the little butterfly fairy with all kinds of crazy powers, one of which is the ability to shrink him down. She makes the flying sneaker, and that is what allows Alex to see the world and get in all kinds of crazy adventures. Or, you know, random stop-motion showcase, that's a movie too, I guess. Following Vincent's lead, Alex decides to make his own race car with blackjack and hookers, but he gets angry when Googly Moogly makes it for him. You have angered Lady Goo Goo. You have made a very powerful enemy. Alex goes back to his professor friend to talk about the issues he's having with a special friend of his, and even after watching and rewatching this scene several times, I have no idea if he's talking about Lucy or the bug with a bowl cut. We later find said bug with a bowl cut flying over the city. She eventually finds the garden that the other butterflies were taken to, but the on-site botanists try to catch her.
Fly faster, Boogaboo!
Or higher. Flight does have that advantage, remember? She finds the remains of her friends and brings them back to Alex's house. But it's okay. I'm sure Woohoo will use her magical powers to bring her butterfly friends back to life. Or just cremate them. Holy shit! Usually I'm the first person to say that kids' movies need a little darkness in them, but... wow! Urugu 2 Electric Boogaloo condemns humanity for their deaths. And I'm sorry for your loss, madam, but you're jumping the gun here a bit. The average lifespan of an African butterfly is 1 to 2 months. She had to know that her friends weren't long for this world, right? All we know is that these scientists had these butterflies mounted. You don't know that they killed them. After a really uncomfortable moment where Alex apologizes and they reaffirm their friendship with what looks like a disturbingly passionate kiss, we get confirmation that more time has passed than what this movie's use of film language would suggest. Alex's father comes back home, and everyone in the family is so happy to have him back that Alex forgets that it's another full moon tonight, and Ooby Dooby Dooby flies into said full moon because no one was around to stop her. And so the movie ends with Alex and Lucy getting back together with no conversation about what was going on between the two of them, or even her and Vincent. Nobody's lives are enriched by the presence of the little butterfly fairy, and they all lived vaguely ever after. So that was the flying sneaker, and there's only one way that can wrap this up.
What the hell was that?
No, seriously, what the hell was this? A little kid befriending a strange creature is nothing new, but it comes from nowhere, goes nowhere, and ultimately nothing was achieved. Maybe Alex was supposed to learn something about how to be better friends with Lucy? I don't think so, because everything was fine until the creature meant to impart that wisdom showed up and got in the way. Were we supposed to get a message about empowerment against bullies? Because Alex was already there, and most of his interactions with his bully came from involving himself in situations he otherwise had nothing to do with. He didn't even have a wild adventure that led to the safe return of his father. All that happened in this movie was some weird stop-motion animation and some really inappropriate moments with a little kid and a bug. What was the point of this? Actually, I do know the point of this movie. Being a rare VHS treat for the box.
Woo, that one's good then. We'll do it far away. Allie, okay, whatever you want. And you know what? Every month until I go to a restaurant, I believe they can all become men. Frog in the summer part was funnier than I still have the right to fish. I'll change my mind and I'll be the greatest magician.
In contrast to the fool, the past it was illegal, you know. That's already been said that this was my territory here. Throw 10, 100, 1,000 times to beat. Show here then, get lost if you don't want to give the little fiancé and the one with Go-You. Look elsewhere in you.
Perverse affect the earth.
I think you and the others are clever against it. He alone had to face his downfall in time against Oot. It's not me, she's in love. That's why she's doing it.
Vincent's eyes that don't love me. The others are generally kind to me. They just haven't understood that yet.
That's the worst part, yours. In the land of idiots, he is the king. Attack to move gold is here. That's not my mother.
Music! Ah, hello. It was today one that is still just as exciting as ever, I see.
No letter from Dad yet, that's for sure.
Asking too much of your United Alphabet to 2 days of night. Enough time to have some things to write. Who are we listening to roughly?
8 days since I've known anything about the 5 hours. Don't cry. Let me in the mind.
He said something like horrible things must be destroyed, and always everything what is beautiful. It looks like you're fighting the butterflies.
I read alive. Forgive me. I lost my temper. It's not fair. That's not good. And believe me, I regret it. I'm truly sorry for all his friends. It makes me feel as much like a punk as you do. It was definitely not gold, and you know I'm telling the truth. Stop crying, you, and please become my friend again.
All I there are runners. You're all I have left now.
I swear I won't.
Now kiss me with tongue. Mmm.
Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end. Your reward is me in this hat. You're welcome. If you want to see more, check out my previous review over here. We got a whole playlist of reviews over this way. And thank you all for supporting my channel. It helps keep the lights on around here. Oh, poopy.